I'm Sovereign Sage, and welcome to what would be part 2 of Faruzan's story quest, hangout event. I say part 2 because I started it in another video, which was part of another video that I had split in half. It was actually part of 200 and like, what did I say, 30, 56, 57? It was a part of another video that I had uploaded. The one where Lumion finds out the truth about Ether, and it has like his face in the shattered mirror. Like, that was all one whole video. But I don't like doing these hangout events and like story parts all together. Like, I don't like putting the hangout story event, starting it in a video where I'm covering something else in the story. I like to make these their own videos. So I wanted to kind of stick by that code of mine, so I had went back and just cut the video in half to separate it. It did make it shorter though, and we didn't get anywhere. We haven't even gotten an ending yet, which there are 5. But I like to make these videos separate in case people want to look for just the hangout of the character. They don't have to watch like almost a whole 30 minutes of other story stuff, which can get confusing if you didn't see the other videos before that. So, because people do like to skip my videos out of order. I don't know why. I think it's just all based on like your title and your thumbnail. I mean, that's the way YouTube has always been. But people skip videos and they miss stuff, and then they don't understand anything. And that's happened so much where people's like, well, where's this part at? And I go, well, that was in the part before this that you obviously skipped. So then they like try to blame it on me, say they don't understand something, or they're looking for a specific part, but it was in another video, but they skipped it because, oh, the title wasn't interesting enough. It's like, give me a break. So, I believe this is the line I left off last time, because another thing I need to get this going is because Kale takes part in the Windbloom Festival, and I currently have her stuck in Faruzan's Hangout. And the way this game works is if you have another main character or even a side, like, NPC character that's in another quest or event, you can't do the one that you're trying to do if they're in another one. And because Kale is currently in Faruzan's Hangout story, I have to either finish and get the ending and then start the Windbloom, or finish Faruzan's Hangout completely and then start it, which is probably what I'm gonna do, because during the main like Skara event back a long time ago where he like captured Nahida or whatever, well, he didn't, but basically during that, Nilo was needed for that event, but I was trying to do her hangout, or actually I was trying to do her story quest, and it kept locking me out of the main quest. I had to like go talk to her and get her to move out of the Grand Bazaar area, get her to move out of there, before I can continue the main quest. And it was really annoying having to go back and forth to get a character to move so that I could advance another story. So you have to be careful with this game, because you will screw yourself up horribly and get yourself locked out of quest if a character is somewhere else. And it does happen quite often. So we're stuck here, and I can't do the Windbloom thing yet, which has been out for probably already 3 or 4 days at this point. But I've been busy doing other stuff and haven't been able to get to this. I also haven't been well, so I've been trying to take time for my health. And then I recently got another laptop, and I have to transfer everything from my current one over to it, and I still have to get used to it, because I've been running Windows 8 on my current laptop for like 9 years, and the new one I got is already like at 10 or 11, and I don't really know how to work those. They're really convoluted. I mean, they're really simple once you get the hang of it, but I'm so used to what I've been using that going back to that, I'm just like, oh, I hate these pop-up menus and all this other stuff, and I have to get used to it, and it's not super easy. But anyway, this is where we left off last time. This was the line, anyway, the video ended on. So I had to replay through it a little bit. I spam clicked some options that I've done. With this game, they started doing a thing now where if you have to replay through a segment, I'm going to have to replay through this. Whatever you had said previously, they'll put a little green check mark next to it, which is pretty neat, because I believe the Hangout quest, I don't know if they had always done that before. I think they were laid out quite differently. But now, it'll show you what you said previously. So I just reselected everything I had said before, and she's asking about a certain book. So let's see.
Tales of Shariar? I I don't think I've heard of that before. When was it published?
100 years ago.
About 100 years ago.
Told you.
100 years ago? Are you pulling my leg? What sort of book can remain popular for 100 years?
Literally everything in literature.
The Legend of Antara is popular to this very day, isn't it? I just heard someone telling it a few days ago in a cafe. If an old story like that is still being shared, then Tales of Shariar must be even more popular.
Even if that is the case, I really don't carry that book here in my store.
What? Is that because of the academia's strict control over books in recent years?
Probably.
I can't believe they've allowed the people of Sumeru to become so uncivilized. How can they not know about the Tales of Shariar?
Tales of Shariar? Oh, wait. I think I heard an antique seller on the other end of Treasure Street mention that name before. I mean, it is a book from 100 years ago. Why don't you try asking for it there?
Tales of Shariar is considered an antique now? How could the academia have let such an excellent work of literature be forgotten like this?
Easily.
Traveler, Kale, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Let's meet at the antique sellers.
You know what's funny about this game? Sometimes the lip flaps don't match, and sometimes they'll be talking, but their mouths won't move.
Madam, wait! Oh no, this is bad.
What's wrong?
You asked me why I'm scared of Madame Faruzan, right?
Sure.
It's not because I don't know how to respond to her kindness.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
It's because I'm afraid of that ancient language she researches, because I can barely understand any of it. What if she uses ancient texts as teaching material?
You know, I when you start some of these characters' designs in this game, like their outfits seems like they would be horribly uncomfortable to wear. And if you see how small the wrist cuffs are on those arm sleeves she's wearing, how did she even get her hand in those? Because I mean, you could say that's just a cloth material to make it look metal, but it does look like that is a piece of gold metal of some kind around the cuff, so how did she possibly get her hand through it? Unless they're like snap-ons and she puts them on. But like, oh my god, the design makes no sense. That book's only 100 years old, Kale. I doubt this counts as a book written in ancient language. I mean, how would I know? I can't even fully focus on what's happening, and it's not because of my ADHD either. It's just my mind does that. She's afraid of the language, but she's not saying why, because she can barely understand any of it. Okay. Well, I doubt this counts as a book written in ancient language. The book's only 100 years old. Hey, having learned something from 100 years ago would be difficult. I'm not going to tell her that. Though I think that's what they want me to say. I doubt this counts as a book written in an ancient language. But it probably is, though. It's from 100 years. God, I don't even know what to say then. Both of these seem kind of dickish.
Even so, what if researchers from 100 years ago like to use ancient languages in their books? We've got to catch up to her!
She has a point. Which is why I said my answer seems dickish. Yeah, there it goes. I'm so behind because I've been locked in that event. I've been locked in her event forever and I haven't been able to branch out. They're like, what the hell are you doing? 11 days. I thought it said 11 hours. I was about to say, holy fuck. Ooh, a new sword. Mayo flower. That's a claymore. I don't know who I would give that to then. Look at that. Cute. Yeah, that's funny. There's people that are still mad. They're like, how come it's always Ether on the cover? I really don't fucking care. Also, the PS4 had an update the other day. Just yesterday. Seems like it runs faster, but I don't know. God, how long is this? Okay. Okay. I was reading that if you're wondering what the hell I'm doing. Okay, there's a little game going on in Mondstadt. The Bellows of Breeze. Taking part in this game will allow you to compose and play some lovely tunes. Not this again. Meanwhile, the interaction platform is available for a little bit of time. I mean, those events are neat, but I never really cared for that. Okay, what do I want to do? Okay. Yeah, I've been locked in that thing for so long that the fact that I can actually leave now feels weird. Yeah, because we have Dia's story quest up here. And then we have the Windbloom thing. Well, there's so much for me to do all the time that it's just like... Let's see, 94. I'm trying to actually see if I can get signed now. Let me, yeah, let me go here, because I haven't been here in a couple days. I should have went to the house and not the damn symbol shit. I haven't been here in a couple days, so everything's been stacking on itself. Mainly what it was is I got stuck in Faruzan's, because I couldn't move. It had safe stated me in front of the point where she is. So every time I would load up the game, it would automatically force me into that cutscene where she's like, what book is that? Blah, blah, blah. And I couldn't actually get away from it or run because it just loads me into it. And it was like making it impossible. Yeah, they made it easier. People kept complaining about having to run all the way up to here, so they made a point out directly outside the house to allow you to get up here.
This realm is...
And yeah, it was pretty annoying, so it would put her at the top. And you would have to run all the way up here just to get up here to her. And yeah, it did get pretty annoying. Literally. Okay.
If you ever have...
I need to... Okay, she has something to say to me. I need to switch Scar out because he's max, but at the same time I don't really want to switch him out. I just kind of want to leave him there. But there is other characters I could be getting the ranks up with them, and he is taking up a spot by having him here, but I don't really know who I'd want to put in right now. Which is why I haven't done that. Just come here to do this real quick. Because I haven't been able to leave. I've been stuck there for a millennia. Which kind of does suck. Like, I just haven't been able to leave that spot. Because she had me stuck there. Okay. I think I clicked it too fast. Let me go up and see what she has to say. Yeah, because you get your ranks up by leaving characters in your teapot. They can earn a rank. And once they reach certain ranks, they will have things to say to you. So let's see.
Oh, goody! You're here! Do you need help with anything? Have you been doing well lately?
Not really.
Oh, come on! Tell me all about it! Sure! I love chatting! It's always fun, no matter who I'm talking to!
No matter who you say, such as?
Well, such as... cranes!
cloud retainer.
I encountered a very beautiful crane once while washing radishes by a brook. It had many colorful feathers. It was so pretty to look at. I called out to it, and to my surprise, the crane could speak.
Was that mountain shaper? Was that cloud retainer by any chance?
Wow, you got that without any hints. How did you guess? I guess the term smart cookie was made just for you, huh? Nice one. Auntie Cloud Retainer and I had a great time chatting, and then we ate the shredded radish salad that I made. She also told me a lot of interesting stories. Eventually, she declared that we had been fated to meet, and gave you a grade. She made it using her very own mechanical arts, you know? Adeptus arts, mechanics. I'm really amazed by her many powerful and practical skills.
Is she talking about the little bunny that's in her basket? Is that the name of the thing?
Oh, let's go talk to her together sometime, shall we?
Yep. Oh, yeah. This song makes me feel like I'm in a dream. It really does. It's like Dream Simulator. Not LSD Dream Simulator emulator, but yeah. Oh, it does. It makes you feel like you're stuck in a dream. Especially that other song when you're out in the desert. It's like this random song that lasts for like 5 or 10 seconds. And it just comes on so strong and then suddenly and then leaves suddenly. And it's like, that's just it. It's like a random tune that just plays for a couple seconds. I wouldn't even really call it a song. I don't know. I mean, I guess it is, but like, it doesn't last very long. It literally comes on for like what feels like 5 or 7 seconds. Every time it comes on, I'm like, what is happening? Because it makes me feel so weird. It's like this strong song that just hits. And I'm just like, what? It is bizarre. Oh, there she is.
Found it! The 5th volume of Tales of Shariar!
All that untexturedness would be a nightmare. It's like some like old like PS1 game. That's what it looks like.
Wow! You actually found it!
I never thought this book would ever get sold.
Alright, that's our teaching material secured. We also now know what to call this course. Analysis of Classical Texts. After all, this book is definitely worthy of being called a classic. Can I take a look?
Uh-oh.
Luckily the language being used here isn't ancient at all. I can recognize a few words here and there. Huh? But why aren't there pictures in this book? As long as the writing is good, readers won't need any illustrations to imagine the scenes. Worry not. I shall thoroughly explain the difficult sections. You'll like this book. I know it. After all this time, I wonder if Aaliyah and Aziz ended up together. And who obtained the desert gem in the end? Sir, do you have the subsequent volumes of this series?
Watch it be like, no.
I don't think so.
Is that so? And here I thought I could finally read the ending. Never mind. I'll keep searching for the later volumes myself. If I'm to use it as a teaching material, it's better to start earlier in the series. Where are the first 4 volumes? Why aren't they all together?
So they were destroyed.
I don't have those either. Actually, this is the only volume I have.
Is this series really that popular?
No. It's not popular at all. Rather, there's absolutely no demand for it.
No demand? Impossible! Back then, I'd come across at least 3 groups of people talking about it during a single stroll at the academia.
Seriously? No one told me that this book was anything special when I first got it.
Where did you get this from? Can you still contact the seller?
I'm afraid not. This book was sold together with a whole bunch of antique furniture. I didn't even notice it initially. Otherwise, the Matra would have come knocking. Wait, is this book actually worth a lot? It can't be, right?
I'm afraid not. It doesn't look valuable. Uh...
That's impossible. No matter how strict the academia was, there's no way Tales of Shariar could have fallen into such a state.
I do remember a passerby skimming through the book a few days ago. However, he simply sighed and left.
He sighed? Why would he react like that? Given the quality of Tales of Shariar, he should have been entranced after a single glance. I'm sorry. Traveler, Kale, please give me a moment. I'd like to look through this book first.
Faruzan quickly flips through the pages.
Why is there another misunderstanding between Ali and Aziz? Also, why is there no mention of the Desert Gem at all? And a new character is introduced with no foreshadowing at all? Also, what are all these new names and terms? Is this really the Tales of Shariar I know?
Well, that passerby reacted in much the same way.
Who was the passerby in any case?
It's Madaf from the cafe over there. You know, the fellow who spends all day telling the legend of Antara. Since that's also a very old story, maybe he knows a thing or two about that, Tales of, whatever it's called.
Then let's go ask around at the cafe. Huh? Madam Faruzan? Huh? Oh, yes. Let's go.
She's so dejected. She's like, huh? What? I am stuck in a nightmare fever dream. Oh my god. Yeah, this is a place you normally... I don't know. I'm an evil child, what do you want? He just pierces my soul? Yeah, and then it's gonna freeze on his face like I needed to see it a couple seconds longer. Come on, game. If I wanted to stare at him that long, I would just go print out a damn picture of him and put it on the wall. In my opinion, though, he is one of the most attractive males in the game. Other people are gonna be like, no, he isn't, but there's a lot of attractive males in this game, but for my taste and what I like in men, Skara is by far the prettiest and by far the most attractive. But he freaks me in. Let's see. Hytham's appealing in his own way.
Wait. Huh?
Whatever.
No. Whatever.
He just seems like he's too laid back and doesn't give a fuck about anything, and I don't know if I like that. But he does seem like he's the type of person who would care if he absolutely needed to. I tried getting him, but the game was like, no. Then we have Sino, who I couldn't get last time either. That loads. I like him. I also like his voice actor. The guy's funny. When I say like, I don't mean like as in, oh, he's super attractive. No, the guy is actually married. I mean, he's funny. Like, he's funny. He's also a VTuber. And it's funny because his name is very, very close to his character. Sino's voice actor, his VTuber name is Sayu. Like Cyu. And it's very similar, Sayu, Sino. It's funny. But the guy had been like a VTuber streamer for like, what did he say? 10, 12 years, 14 years, something like that. Before he became the voice for Sino. So it's not like his name was created because of the character. That was a name he had went by years before Sino was ever even a character. Yeah, I like Sino. He's attractive in his own way, but that's not really why I like him. I just like Egyptian shit, and I've always liked Egyptian stuff. And he's like this Anubis, and I think it's cool. I just like the Egyptianness of it. That's the only reason why I like him. Not only that, he's so mysterious and different than the other characters, in the way that he's dressed and the way he's presented. Heiza is attractive though, but he kind of reminds me a bit of Hanbei from Samurai Warriors, like their eyes are similar. Ayato, I don't really care for him at all, personally. I don't really care for Ito at all either. He's funny, but he's just kind of there. He's like Shuten Doji, so I only like him mainly because of that. He's like a mix between Shuten Doji and Keiji Maeda from like Samurai Warriors. Goro's alright, but he's not someone I really care for. Toma's interesting, but he's not like he's super, super attractive or anything. He's just like another child. And I don't mean child as in a kid, child as in child the character. I do like Kazuha though, he's attractive. Makes me nervous. I do like Xiao. Xiao's attractive too. He makes me slightly nervous. I like Albedo a lot, but I'm too relaxed around him. He's almost like brother figure. Zhongli's attractive as well. He makes me cautious, but he seems too more like a father figure. Like, I don't see him as a father figure, but that's the way he comes off. I do like Venti a lot, but he's like kind of like Hanbei to me as well, like too innocent. Especially from behind. If you look at Hanbei Takanaka from Samurai Warriors 3, and then you look at him from behind, they both have like the hat and the whole kind of like cape jacket nonsense. And from behind, he kind of does have the same look as him in a way. He really does. Here's Child. I like Child a lot. He's attractive too, but he's just different. I like D-Luke a lot, but he's too cool. He reminds me of Sturk. Sturk was in Warriors Rookie 3 Ultimate, but he also comes from the Altair series. That bird's wings are too shiny, bro. You know, Taka means hawk in Japanese. That's what that was. I don't know, he's alright, but he seems... I don't know. He makes... If he comes up on me suddenly, I guess he makes me a little nervous, but... I don't really care for Bennett. Changyun is my boy! He's so cute and adorable. And then we have Shincho, who's alright. Don't really care for him that much. I had wanted him a long time ago, but then I just got annoyed with it, and my opinion changed. Razor's cool. He's cute also. He's adorable. Then we have Kaya. Everybody says Kaya's super attractive. I mean, he's attractive in his own way. But is he somebody that I would pursue, like as like a dating partner or anything? No. Maybe just a friend. That is it. Not interested. So out of all the males in the game, I don't really care for Tonari. Please get out of my face. Yeah, Scar is the only one that meets my actual taste, my actual type. Him and Heizo. Heizo, and Kazuha are probably the only three males I would actually be interested in as, I wouldn't say possible dating partners, but because I don't date, so, but if I was in this world and I was looking for a companion, it would probably be them. Yeah, they said they changed his voice. I don't know, did they? Nope, it's still saying him. I think you have to unlock it, is what it is. And I haven't done that, so... Well... Yeah, for my personal taste in men, Scar is like the only one who fits what I like. In terms of his personality, the way his character is, even the hairstyle and color and the eyes are pretty much what I'd be into. Because if you look at other male characters that I like in other animes and series, they all look like this. I've been noticing, like if you look at Kishu from Tokyo Mew Mew, and then if you look at Kirihito from Kami-sama Kiss Season 2, Kirihito Mori, and like I said, Kishu from, it was known as Mew Mew, or Tokyo Mew Mew, or Mew Mew Power, or whatever. There was like a girl with pink hair, her name was Ichigo, and he would always pursue her. And then if you look at like Sai from Naruto, like those, all of them have some similarities. But however, I feel like Scar looks more like he's more similar to Kirihito from Kami-sama. Because Kirihito is really a demon known as Akira O, who possessed the human form of a boy named Kirihito. Because the boy died and gave his body to him in the underworld. And that's why he was able to live. So... they're all similar.
Another day, another empty room.
Dude, that is just life.
Excuse me? But are you Mata?
Yes! Are you here to listen to my story?
Oh my god.
Well, we actually came to ask about something else.
Look at all this green on blue on you.
I see.
Sorry.
It's fine. I'm used to it, more or less. So, how can this terribly unpopular storyteller help you?
Dude, look at the fire coming off of that, like, what, it's like a antique, like, what you call it, a kettle, a teapot. Can you imagine? You wouldn't even be able to grab that with your hands, because I have a feeling that's, like, incredibly hot, like, all the time. That seems like a huge danger hazard up in here.
Do you know about Tales of Shariar?
Huh? Tales of Shariar? Why, I can barely remember the last time anyone talked about it. My master always talked about how incredibly popular that book used to be. However, I tried reciting a few chapters of it at the cafe, and I found that it's even less popular than the Legend of Antara.
Your master?
Yes, the one who taught me how to be a storyteller. He said that Tales of Shariar was written by his master's master's master.
Oh my dude god. He looks like he has a snake almost around his neck.
He also said that this great-great-grandmaster
Not really around.
was an academia researcher, and that even the sages liked the series. He wrote 4 volumes back then, and the reviews just got better and better. You couldn't find a single person in Sumeria who hadn't read his books.
And then? What happened next? Why doesn't anyone know about Tales of Shariar now?
Because it was horribly ostracized.
Oh, it's hard to tell when it comes to trends. One day everyone likes stories like that, and the next day their tastes change completely.
Those tubes in the background look like they have a bunch of little rocks in them, doesn't it? On the right, there's like 3 of them. I just noticed that. They look like these tubes with a bunch of little rocks in them, and it's like, what the hell is that even used for? You could just say it's just like a granite design on the pole that's inside, but that looks absurd.
Instead of writing a proper ending, this great-great-grandmaster kept trying to extend the story. To tap into popular trends, he added a lot of tropes. Then, starting from the 5th volume, the reviews started to go downhill.
How could that be? Then what happened to Tales of Shariar in the end?
It just ended abruptly.
In the end, there's no ending. The great-great-grandmaster tried to write a few more volumes, following whatever trends were popular at the time, but the trends kept changing right as he published his books. He got so infuriated that he stopped writing altogether and focused on his research instead.
He's like, screw this shit.
What? So there's no ending? The readers didn't care?
The readers are like, nope, now I'm gonna drop my controller, it's gonna fall.
By that time, only a very small number of people were reading Tales of Shariar.
Like what, 5 people?
Anyway, my master probably exaggerated. How could a work possibly have been that popular? The only tangible thing my great-great-grandmaster left is the original draft of Legend of Antara. He also left behind many theses from his research phase. When my master talked about Legend of Antara, he'd even quote from those theses. My master is a much better storyteller than me. Even when we're telling the same story about Antara, he's always able to draw in a huge crowd. But even he won't recite Tales of Shariar due to its ever-changing writing style and its lack of an ending.
So, Antara's story is the one that lasted through the years.
Well, not even sages can definitively ascertain the quality of something like a story. In the end, only time can separate the classics from the fads.
Only time? Madame Faruzan? It's been 100 years. Perhaps some things I once believed to be great aren't so after all.
You know, I think you don't have to worry about that. Both of these are not the right thing to say to her at this time. You know, I think, like, what does that even mean? Don't have to worry about that. Like, some of these, the game likes to do that. It adds continuations, like, you start it, and, like, this is the start, this is the end. You know, I think the story's decline might have been due to changing threads. Might not have been. It doesn't matter if it's a classic or a fad. What matters is that you like it. I mean, that's true. I mean, like, think about that. There's a lot of things that people like every day, right, that other people don't. Like, there's some people who really like Arby's, and there's other people that think it's the most disgusting shit on the face of the earth. So, Like, that's what I'm saying. If you like something and it works for you, then you do you.
Yeah! Master helped me find a lot of famous books at first, but in the end, I realized that I couldn't get into them.
Like Wulong, for instance. Everybody's like, oh, it's such a great game, but there's a lot of people who fucking hate it already. So, you know?
No matter how good
What
those stories
the...
are, I can't improve my skills if I can't bring myself to read them in the first place. I think the best books for me are the ones I like.
I like how the lighting changed and that guy just loaded in like a ghost. The problem here is not actually about improving your reading skills, but I suppose the principle is the same. The problem here is not actually about improving your reading skills. Yeah, but that was the whole point of this, though, wasn't it? What the fuck?
Huh. Indeed. That is true. Readers' interests and trends of a time are not things that are so easily predicted. What was popular 100 years ago could be completely forgotten in modern times. And yet, 100 years, as far as history is concerned, is but a blink of an eye. If Tales of Shariar hadn't chased after trends and instead stuck to its original style from start to finish, it might have stood some chance of gaining renewed popularity. No, even if that didn't happen, at least it would be a work that was true to itself. Huh? Our conversation just got a lot more serious.
Well, why don't you recreate it and finish it yourself?
I don't really get what you're talking about, but it does sound sensible. Looks like I also have to hang in there and tell Antara's story well.
You should think about the present first. You should think about your income first. Oh, why are we so belittling?
How unseemly. I almost got carried away because of a single book. Well then, we should get back to the matter of our teaching material. It looks like we can't use Tales of Shariar now.
How about the Legend of Tantara then?
No, it's much too old.
Oh.
Kale, you found a book that you liked at the bookstall?
That was the slowest I've ever seen in my life. Oh my god, why? Why would they even go back to him?
Yes, but I don't really... Then we'll use that book as our teaching material. Now that I think about it, using a book that you like is the most suitable choice for teaching you how to read. As for the academia, as long as we come up with an appropriate course name, we should be able to get away with this.
I propose appreciation of popular literature, perhaps analysis of popular literature might do the trick.
My, it sounds like you've dealt with the academia before. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
Now then, let's return to the book vendor in a bit and buy the latest volume of this Onibudo for Kale.
Watch it be like sold already.
But if I wish to use it as teaching material, I have to read it first. Huh? Speaking of which, other than third eye of perception and illusory mirror, I also espy some unfamiliar phrases from the reader's messages at the back of the book. Such things as, even if it reminds me of my dark history, I still can't help but be drawn in by the story. And the author has written all the things that I only dare whisper into a tree hollow.
Uh-oh, that is from Kale.
Why do people use dark history to refer to awkward or embarrassing memories? Is this some slang that was invented in the last century? If one of our learning objectives was researching linguistic changes over the past 100 years, it might make it easier to get these books approved as teaching material.
Oh, I can tell you what that's all about. Apparently, in their youth, some people used to imagine themselves as someone burdened by fate, fighting against the world, etc. But as they grew older, they started to become embarrassed by such memories. Some would write those fantasies into novels, while others would entrust such tales to tree hollows.
Mana? You know, I suddenly have the urge to hear a story about Antara. Huh? Why so suddenly?
I think we can just ignore the whole dark history thing for now. It's a good reminiscence on an old tale on a wall. Just go along with it.
I knew it. There will always be people who love the golden oldies. Now, let me tell you all about the ancient hero, Antara.
And it goes on for 100 years. Okay, there's one ending. He's just staring super hard at something that I can't see. Okay, so let's take a look. So she has 5 endings. 1, 2. I was right. Does it branch? Okay, there's 3. I can't see. So they probably branch off that one. Alright, so... Man, trying to get this to go exactly where I want it to is annoying. Let's go here. Stop fondling! It's weird. It freaked me out. Hold on a moment. If I'm... No, I'm not. Never mind. There's another place that you can go into, and I was like, well, if I'm there, I can just buy the things I'm gonna get. But I was like, no. Da 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 da. Spam everything. Spam it. Spam. Okay. Now we need to go back to where that was. Which, no, that freeze, though. Okay. I wonder, should I, should I just, like, walk up there? I mean, he can fly. I mean, there's a teleport point. I was gonna just... I'm trying to see if he can go up the side. I'm trying to see if the angle's flat enough. I can't really tell. I could have just teleported. I didn't have to do this. But he flies, so why not? Okay. Where are we?
What now? She seems so busy.
He's under it. We're supposed to be on top. How does this even physically work?
Master said there's no rush, but I know that he's been busy working on something at Parties DI, so he hasn't returned to Gandharville for several days now. I feel for Madame Faruzan, but I still want to ask her to come with us. But if I get her in trouble with the academia, then she won't have the time to help Master. What should I do? Oh, this is such a headache.
Let's think of some way to get her to Paris DI.
But if someone does complain to the academia, wouldn't it make Faruzan's situation more awkward? And if the academia investigated and found her at Parties DI, things would get even worse for her. Do you have some way to invite her over to Parties DI without stepping on the academia's toes?
I do have the makings of an idea. Let's observe the situation first.
Okay then. I'm counting on you.
I have to teach students from Haravatat or Okasharawar a favor. It strikes me that they might be even less happy about such a deal than I am.
I think I can sympathize with them.
Madame Faruzan, we're back! Sorry for asking again, but are you sure you can't go to Parties DI today?
Well, since you're asking me so sincerely, let's just ignore the academia and
Please, Madame Faruzan, focus. Today's the deadline.
Actually, Tanari wants to invite her over to discuss some research.
Huh?
Yes. I see. No wonder he sent you two over. Why, that lad didn't make it very clear in his letter, now did he? Otherwise, I would have reported it as part of my research.
Yeah, that's right! Master sent us over to explain everything to you.
Wait. Opportunities for collaborative research don't just come out of thin air. This seems like too much of a coincidence. Also, there isn't much overlap between Madame Faruzan's research and that of Immorta, right? What will you even be collaborating on?
Master wants to research,
A a fully automated irrigation system.
A fully automated irrigation system?
Precisely. It's a system that can automatically adjust the amount of water it provides based on the season and the plant species involved. I saw a similar mechanism while exploring a ruin in the rainforest. That's why Tainari wanted to collaborate with me.
A mechanism like that exists? Why haven't I heard of it before?
I found it 100 years ago, so it's only natural that you don't know about it. Why don't you go ask your teacher's teacher? Perhaps they've heard about it from their teacher.
But we can't prove its existence one way or the other, right?
Fret not. I'll have Tainari write an official proposal to the Academia later. That should do it, right?
An official proposal. Fine. We haven't made any progress with either the collaborative project or the elective course anyway. I'll go inform my superiors now. Please do take care of the paperwork as soon as possible. Don't delay this any longer.
Sure. I'll be sure to needle him until he gets it done.
Oh my god. The researcher Lee is clearly still having some doubts.
Phew. I think she bought it.
That was quick thinking back there.
Even though this is our first meeting, I must say, we make a good team.
Wow! You made up that excuse on the spot, huh? Madam Faruzan, did you really find an irrigation system 100 years ago? If the Academia asks for any details...
Who knows? It's been 100 years, so it wouldn't be too surprising if I've forgotten a few details, no?
Huh? Then how will we explain things to them?
You don't.
I'll let Tainari worry about whatever documents we might need to send to the Academia. If I'm right, the request he has in store for me won't be any simpler than the Academia nonsense.
Okay. We got her to leave. The camera's so pulled far out. Not only that, I was under this. They teleported him up here. I was actually down here. I was down here. This is where I was. So I was gonna have him climb up the whole thing. I hate when they do that, when they randomly stare in a direction like they see something. And there's like clearly nothing there. Oh, I hate when they do that. This music makes me feel like I'm in a dream. Okay, let's just teleport. They do that though. If there's like someone or like something there, like a crystal fly or an animal or something or an enemy, they'll look in its direction. And there are times where I'll just be standing still, right, while I'm like doing something else. And I happen to look up and like they're just like their heads turned and they're staring at something that's not there. And I'm like, what the hell are they looking at? And they do it randomly too, and it's so weird.
Master, we're back! Huh? Where did he go?
Look at all that gray.
You don't have to shout. I can hear you. Well, you got here much faster than I expected. I thought you'd have a lot more business to take care of.
I'm dying inside.
Thanks to the Traveler, I was able to pawn off various problems of mine onto others.
Onto others? What does that mean?
We can discuss that later. You're looking for me because of the thing you mentioned in the letter, right?
That's right. Please, follow me.
No. Where was that flower at? There was a different flower behind her that I wanted. Gimme. See what I mean? Like, she was further up. She was, like, right here talking to him. Gimme. Yeah, so, like, if you go up to items in this game, your character will look at it. Like, if I go up to the Samara Rose, he'll actually look at it. Is he, like, staring down at it? They do that. They'll stare at stuff that isn't there, because then when I pick it up, then he looks back forward. Yeah. That's how you can tell if there's actually something there. This is funny. This is the place where I was when he was like trying to control me in my mind or something. It's funny that I'm coming back here as him. That is hilarious. This is so different for me. Because when you touch that girl, you could like see in her mind, because he was like bound to her through the mind. And he was like walking circles around me in a ghost form. It's funny to actually come back here as him. Christ. Gimme. Gimme. That is very weird. I'm now realizing that, yeah. Carcata.
A monster? Why is there a monster here?
Oh, calm down.
Don't be scared, Kale. This is the mechanical life form the Traveler and I saved a while back. Its name is Carcata. It's the final work of a late junior of mine.
You mean Abatui? He must have been a genius to create one of such polish all by himself. It's uncommon that a Spontamod researcher is able to create such an intricate machine. If you were still around, we could probably chat the day away. What a shame. Something seems wrong here. Have you been maintaining it? Mechanical life forms are much more fragile than they look.
Is Carcata sick?
Carcata has been lying down like this since a few days ago. It could be an old malfunction acting up again. I've taken a few courses conducted by Spontamod before, so I've managed to perform some passable repairs on Carcata's energy supply module. However, it seems the issue this time is with its transmission. My knowledge can only prevent its condition from deteriorating any further. But, Madame Faruzan, you should be able to find a way to repair it.
Not necessarily. Mechanical life forms are created using techniques from alchemy, elemental science, and more. There are multiple modules here that influence each other. A simplistic knowledge of mechanisms will not serve here. You know that as well. Each mechanical life form is very different from the next. So even I cannot be sure if my understanding of mechanical life forms is going to be of any use to our little crab friend here.
Carcata.
Can you all go outside for a minute? I need a bit of space. Before I do a thorough check, everything we've just said is but conjecture.
All right. We're counting on you, Madame Faruzan.
I want to shove him into the pool behind him. It's not really a pool, but it could be. A pool of fucking spikes. It's actually just trees, but... Let me talk to her, see what she has to say.
Who knew that I'd encounter a mechanical life form in this manner after 100 years?
Yep. Let's go chill outside. Yeah, this is where I was when he was like in my mind talking to me, and he was like, look at me, I'm so cool, and he got like way up there. He was like taunting the shit out of me. I wonder, can he even get up there? Nope. They won't allow me to climb that. Hello?
I didn't know mechanical life forms could get sick too. You have to get better soon, Carcata.
We'll wait here till Faruzan finishes her inspection. In the meantime, I'd like to talk to you about her.
I also wanted to ask about her past.
Her past, huh? Quite a few people in the academia know about what happened to her. Perhaps it'd be best if I'm the one to tell you.
I want to strangle you.
I've told you before that she disappeared for 100 years, right? From her perspective, trapped might be a more apt description.
Trapped, huh?
Her exact words were...
That ruin was crawling with traps and coded inscriptions from wall to wall. I did all I could to decipher the code and deactivate the traps to escape the ruin, but there was no way out. I lost track of time and I ran out of pen and paper. In the end, I had to use stone shards to write on the walls and on the floor to decipher the code. Then, before I realized it, I ran out of space on the walls and floor. I had to calculate all the possibilities in my mind. After that, my memory started to become fuzzy, and my cognition slowed down.
She doesn't remember anything else, including the location of the ruin and how she finally managed to escape. When she was found in the outskirts of Sumeru a few years ago, she looked exactly the same as she did 100 years prior. However, she was in a stupor and struggled to form sentences. Only after a lengthy recovery period could she speak again. The academia speculates that she must have gotten trapped in an unknown ruin while researching machines a century ago. And because of the ruin's special properties that halted her aging, she was able to use those 100 years to crack the trapping mechanism and then escape. Though she had finally broken free, 100 years had passed. Everyone she knew, and everyone who knew her, was already gone. In the end, Even the academia had to rely on century-old records in the Akasha to confirm her existence. Don't make that face. I'm not telling you this because I want to drum up sympathy. She wouldn't want others to pity her because of past events. Rather, she sees that period of entrapment as an experimental error. As a researcher, she must accept everything that results from her experiments, even if they don't fall within expectations. Even after going through so much, she's returned to Sumeru and still hasn't given up on her research. Due to changes over the years and drift in academic subjects, she holds some rather strong opinions about the current academia, and she has no shortage of detractors herself. What I want to say is that no matter what era we're in, Faruzan is a true senior researcher in every sense of the word. She has her own deep understanding of various ruins and machines. If there's a chance, you should talk about them with her. It'll definitely be helpful for your journey.
Master, Madame Faruzan's done.
Oh? Let's head over. With any luck, she might have figured something out.
Yeah, I don't know. They keep saying his voice was already replaced.
I
and
never
it's still
thought
the
that I'd
same for
encounter a
me.
restitution module once again after 100 years. Abatui really installed quite a few impressive things on this. If my guess is correct, this mechanical life form has displayed attempts at self-sustenance before, right? Such as collecting parts to repair itself, for instance?
It has collected parts before, yes.
It used them for something else, but as far as its design goes, it does have a function like that.
I knew it. If I'm not wrong, Karkata's issue lies with its restitution module. Abatui's modified this module extensively, but the core parts and design philosophy are very similar to the principles as I know them. They are all based on principles learned from the ruins.
From the ruins?
The creators of the ruins machine once tried to create a perpetual mechanism that could replace life or even surpass it. The restitution module is the result of one of their countless attempts. It replicates the behavior of living things to achieve a self-repair function. However, the energy required in maintenance of the module became an issue.
Energy consumption? Maintenance?
Look at my paper trees. They're bushes.
For example, a living thing's heart can deliver nutrients and blood to various organs. However, the bigger the living thing, the more powerful the heart needs to be. Once the heart is damaged, it'll be hard for that living thing to heal itself, and even the function of other organs can be affected. Thus, the attempt wasn't widely adopted. Even 100 years ago, I'd only seen it once before. Oh dear, this is going to be a problem.
Why is that?
Based on my current research, I'll need to swap out the damaged parts in the restitution module to repair Karkata.
You know what's cool? The windows behind her have like a warping glass effect, and the trees actually look like they're bending to the way the glass looks. Because that's the way the glass would look. I like how that has a high attention to detail, yet the bushes behind her close to the window look like paper. Why?
But like I just said, the module is rare, even by the standards of ancient machines. Not only that, but there is very little related research documentation available. Finding suitable parts would be like trying to find a single gear in the vast desert, to say nothing of the difficulty in making those parts from scratch. One can only wonder where Abatui found the original parts.
I might have an idea. Abatui was, for a time, quite passionate about excavating the Great Red Sand. This was when he had just gotten expelled from the academia.
You mean to say he found a restitution module in the desert? That is indeed possible.
But the desert's huge! How are we supposed to find the parts that Karkata needs?
According to the Academia's records, no similar parts have been found in the Great Red Sand over the past 100 years. If we want to try our luck, we'll have to explore ruins that have never been explored before.
And get ourselves trapped again.
I do know that a Vahumana researcher formed an expedition team after the sandstorms and earthquakes subsided. They are now exploring areas of the desert that used to be difficult to access.
Should we ask them if they've made any new discoveries lately?
The chances are slim, but it's at least more effective than running around like headless chickens.
Where's the lead researcher's name, or what? Or where is the archaeological team?
His name is Raid. I think he's stationed at the northeast part of the Hypostyle Desert. Let's go look for him once Karkata settles down.
Oh, you and Pale should probably stay. Karkata's condition may be stable, but it would still be better if some of us stay to look after it. Besides, you still need to take care of the trouble that the Academia left for me.
Trouble from the Academia? I thought you said you pawned it off to someone else. Wait, don't tell me.
You are that someone else.